Alrighty, folks. Welcome here to the latest edition of the Matt On Talk Show, right here for July 24th, 2025. We're live. It's another Matt On Talk Show live. I'm Matt On, representing the One Matt Nation, and yeah, you could see by the title itself, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan, age 71. Yep, that's our big headline for today's show. Is we're definitely going to be doing a lot of talk about Hulk Hogan, but we have a few other people we got to mention here on the show that had passed away here. Sad week here in the world of entertainment, especially if you were an 80s child. A lot of people from your past, from the 80s, passing away this week. So it's a shame, but you know how it is. We soldier on. So let's get some of the other stuff out of the way here. We had Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away at the age of 54 this week. He was better known for his child star role that he had played on The Cosby Show, popular show in the 80s. And, yeah, he passed away in a drowning accident this week, sad to say. And, you know, he was out there with his child. You know, they were out there enjoying their time together. And sure enough, you know, a big tide comes in, starts roughing things up a little bit. He has the rescue people save his child, and then he ended up getting swept away by the large tide and then later found and pronounced dead. So Malcolm Jamal Warner, age 55, better known for his role on The Cosby Show. He was one of the good ones too. He wasn't like everybody else and they got in trouble. So another death that we had touched on this week, and I made a couple videos over at the One Matt Nation YouTube channel, so you could check that out as well. I like to get everybody's feedback on your favorite Ozzy songs, so anybody that's here, thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe. I thank everybody for their participation, and we're live here. This was a big deal to me, the Hulk Hogan death, so that prompted me to do a Matt On Talk Show live. So sure enough, here I am in the flesh. Been having a little bit of a, you know, my health, or, you know, I've been a little sick lately, but I soldier on, and here I am to continue to do the show, even though I don't feel 100% the greatest. We got people lining up here in the chat. We got everybody coming in. We got some likes. We got more people in there. The numbers are fluctuating, as always. All right, so Ozzy Osbourne, we touched about his death, age 76. We did two mini videos over there at the One Man Nation YouTube channel, so check that. I was originally going to do a driving segment, but you know what? I've been feeling a little under the weather lately, and I decided to nix it until we came to today. That was Tuesday. Ozzy passed away, so 76, just weeks after his last musical performance in Birmingham. And he played, his Black Sabbath songs. He played a lot of his solo hits that he had played. And just like 3 weeks ago, he had his last performance. And Ozzy Osbourne passes on. And what a legend Ozzy is. So, that's an important figure. And, we can talk about on today's show, not one, but two WWE Hall of Famers have passed away this week. Ozzy on Tuesday, Hulk Hogan today. So Ozzy, we knew he's been battling health issues for quite some time and unfortunately passed on. And that's the name of the game here. And he's just been going downhill for a while. In his last performance, Ozzy just sat in the chair on stage and did his whole gig sitting down. And he was just lucky just to get through the performance. Somebody did a edit of that last performance that Ozzy had done, and a lot of it just sounded like muffled stuff. But he still was able to sing some of the words. But they took out some of the instrumental stuff, and I guess it was just passable. So that brings us to our headliner today, our main topic of why we're here. Hulk Hogan, 71, passed away, cardiac arrest, also known as a heart attack. And Hulk Hogan, he's been through so many surgeries throughout his entire life, especially in the last maybe 15 years. He's had so many surgeries related to his back, his knees. It's just crazy what he had to go through. Like, I don't even want to think of any surgery, let alone the many, many surgeries that Hulk Hogan has had to gone through. It's probably, to a degree, a traumatic experience to have to deal with that. All these different surgeries. But, Hulk Hogan, he's had a long list of careers. I even had to write out some papers here. I keep on the monitors here to watch for any updates. I got updates over here. Hey, who is loving the fact of Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan's passing this week? The CEO that went viral at the Coldplay Kiss Cam. He is, however, enjoying this opportunity of these two passings that are dominating the news, because now it kind of gives him a back seat a little bit to not be in the limelight for cheating on his wife with a B+, a B+ at best, girl. This girl is a definite downgrade from the girl, his wife. It's utter disgusting. I talked about it on Saturday's show when I was here for the Q&A. So, Hogan passed away, cardiac arrest, also known as a heart attack. He's had many surgeries. There might be some debate. We're going to wait for further news as time goes along to see if there's any relation to recent surgeries that he has had. Hulk Hogan, he's got this American freestyle wrestling that's about to debut in August, this amateur wrestling, and he recently got the rights for the show through Fox Nation. So it was just picked up, I think, maybe late last week. Fox Nation was, I think, maybe Thursday or Friday last week. Fox Nation announced that they picked up the rights to air American Freestyle Wrestling, which is Hogan's amateur wrestling company that he was in collaboration with Eric Bischoff and Izzy Martinez. And it's going to be very interesting because I think Hogan was going to be the set front and center, the host of that show alongside Eric Bischoff. And yeah, we will only wait to see what happens with that. I'm guessing maybe if they do go through with it now, the first show is going to probably most likely be some kind of memorial show on top of what they got going on with the amateur wrestling competition. Like, share, and subscribe for all of you that are just hopping in here. We're talking about Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. What a legend. My favorite wrestling superstar of all time. I even got the shirt. I'm rocking it today. I'm out of my normal Matt on Talk Show t-shirt that I normally wear for the show. I'm repping Hulk Hogan for today's show. That's right. You know, I'd be playing the Hulk Hogan theme song, but, you know, WWE copyrights, YouTube, they love that stuff. I've had enough run-ins with YouTube. I want to make some money, and here we are. So, let me run down some stuff here. Let's start off with Hulk Hogan's best matches. You know, I was always a WWF fan by far. WWE, WWF. You know, I grew up in that era of the late 80s, early 90s, loving that stuff. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be showing here for you guys. So sit back. I'm going to be showing some of my Hulk Hogan memorabilia, and this is just a little bit of the surface of the Hulk Hogan memorabilia. There's still a lot more in crates, packed away. This was stuff that was easily accessible for me. As you've seen when we started the show, there was the Hulk Hogan Tonka wrestling buddy that was here in the chair. That started off the show. I utilized that once before on the show, but today, in honor and tribute of Hulk Hogan, we brought out the wrestling buddy. Anybody that's watching, feel free to say hello in the chat. That'd be nice. Let's see here. Any special other news updates here? Katy Perry and the prop malfunction. Trump just can't quit Obama. It's getting worse. Yep, Obama. We might talk about that in a future driving segment maybe, depending on how things go. Obama under investigation with the Russia stuff. South Park coming back. Just picked up some rights deal there. Alright, anyway. Some of my top favorite matches here. We're just going to start firebombing through some of this stuff. Vince McMahon, his match against Vince McMahon, WrestleMania 19. That was one of my favorites. His match against Randy Savage at WrestleMania 5. His match against Andre at WrestleMania 3. His match against Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6. Among some of my top favorite Hulk Hogan matches that occurred at WrestleMania. He's had some good WCW matches as well. He got over Bill Goldberg. He was most popular for his time with the NWO. He created the NWO. Hulk Hogan breathed new life into his character in the mid-90s when he turned heel for the first time after being a good guy forever, and he created the NWO and was a bad guy for several years there. So, you know, Hogan, he was over there in WCW from 1994 to 2000. You know, he had that big blow-up in Bash at the Beach. Yes, I was quite shocked as well when I found out that. I did not know anything until I got back from my lunch break at work. And I actually thought my coworkers were joking with me that Hulk Hogan had died. You know, I have a coworker that just said to me, "Hey, did you hear the news about Hulk Hogan?" I was like, "No, he died." I was like, "What? You're joking with me." So I had to go look it up on Facebook, everybody's favorite reliable source. Sure enough, right there, scroll down, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. It's just crazy. So Hulk Hogan, he had a good career in WWF. Then later on, 1993, he left WWF. In 1994, he ended up signing with WCW, had won the World Heavyweight Championship at Bash at the Beach 1994 against Ric Flair. which Mr. T was also in attendance for that, just like Mr. T teamed with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 1. And yeah, Hulk Hogan had a pretty popular career as a bad guy in WCW for many years before coming back to WWE in 2002 and won his last World Heavyweight Championship from Triple H at Backlash 2002, but only to lose it a month later to The Undertaker at the pay-per-view in 2002. So, and he had a couple runs. He had a tag team title run with Edge, and he just had a couple notable feuds in his later years. What else? He went on to TNA for a while after he left in 2007 from WWE. He went to TNA in 2009 and was there till 2014 before returning to WWE in 2014. Was there for a little bit before a Gawker trial. And then Hulk Hogan was sadly released because of, some racism stuff and some videotapes and nonsense that came out. And then Hulk Hogan eventually returned in 2018 and was in and out of there for, appearances over the years. He ended up getting inducted again to the Hall of Fame as part of his NWO faction as well as his solo career. So there's that. Those little keynotes there, a little of Hulk Hogan's career. 1994, he was filming a television series, Thunder in Paradise. I consider that kind of like a spin-off of Baywatch, which Hulk Hogan also had appeared in Baywatch back in the day with David Hasselhoff. Some of Hulk Hogan's notable movies: Rocky, Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, No Holds Barred, Santa with Muscles, that's a lesser-known Hulk Hogan movie, and of course he was in the Three Ninjas movie as well. Television shows. Hulk Hogan, he had his infamous 2005 VH1 premiere of Hogan Knows Best, which aired for about 4 seasons. I was a fan of that. I got the DVD of that around here somewhere. I wanted to actually present that as part of my collection, but it's probably still boxed up somewhere, so yeah. I didn't want to overload the show. Look, it's already 18 minutes, and I'm just listing down some of the stuff here, not even talking in detail. These are just quick highlights, Hulk Hogan's career. We honor the man today. He was also featured in the VH1 series Brooke Knows Best. I believe that was about 1 or 2 seasons of Brooke Knows Best. That was a spinoff to Hogan Knows Best after Hogan and his wife Linda, they got a divorce, and they obviously moved apart, didn't do the show together, but they did their parts through Brooke, and Brooke was made the star. That's Hulk Hogan's daughter. For a while there in the mid-2000s, this was a lesser-known thing, but it came to my mind when I was writing up all my notes here of things I was going to touch on here with Hulk Hogan. He did a CMT wrestling celebrity show with Eric Bischoff as well, and Jimmy Hart was also on there as part of the panel of judges, and they had celebrities on there. And I think Danny Bonaducci was on that show, so if you're into looking up some of that stuff, or curious of what I'm even talking about, I'm pretty sure it's here on YouTube. CMT, Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Wrestling, I believe it was called. Hulk Hogan, as I mentioned, he got divorced in 2007 with his wife, Linda. A lot of that came with the chaos with Nick going to jail after he had that whole car accident with Nick Graziano. And, it was just a giant crapshoot for Hogan. I could only imagine what he was going through at that time. I mean, I've gone through some weird stuff within the last year. I could only imagine what Hulk had to go through. Everybody's been touching on this. The Hulk Hogan RNC speech that he made 1 year ago at Donald Trump's Republican National Convention. And it's all over the news. Everything I look, they talk about this Hulk Hogan speech, which was a great thing, him ripping off the shirt to reveal a Donald Trump shirt underneath his Hulk Hogan shirt. By the way, he had an American beer shirt on. That's Hulk Hogan's beer that's out right now, and I'm thinking hopefully to get my hands on some of that here before it disappears, if it disappears. Real American Beer. The commercials were all over WWE. They started a sponsorship deal with WWE in the beginning of the year when WWE moved to Netflix. And Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. It's been getting a lot of attention. I've heard advertisements for it on iHeart, during Raw when it's on every Monday night. It was even plastered in the middle of the ring for sponsorship. So I need to get my hands on some of this Hulk Hogan Real American Beer. One of my friends, they picked it up today. I'm waiting for his review on it. Then I'm going to go out and get myself some of it and give him my review of Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. So Hogan, he was at the National Convention last year, the Republican National Convention. He was talking. He ripped off his shirt. He's been friends with Donald Trump since the 80s when Trump did those WrestleMania 4 and 5 at the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City. You know, an interesting little note here. I saw this on Monday, and I figured I'd include it with today's show. Kind of links up a little bit. But Hulk Hogan had a super fan named Roddy Hogan. His real name is Eric Service. My apologies if I get that wrong. His last name spelling is Servivis. Service, I guess? I'm hoping I pronounced that right. But anyway, Hulk Hogan's superfan, Roddy Hogan, as he was most known as, died July 21st, 2025. And how ironic. July 24th, 2025, the real Hulk Hogan passes on. Very interesting. I just thought that was very, very interesting to tie into this talk about Hulk Hogan. Some of his other notable matches that I had liked. He had a run in TNA. There wasn't anything really memorable in there. Hogan barely could wrestle at that point once he got to TNA. I just remember him turning. He came in basically as a heel, turned face again in that, which was his retirement match, his Bound for Glory 2011 retirement match against Sting in TNA. October 2011 was Hogan's retirement match, really, unannounced retirement match. And that was after all these back surgeries that Hulk Hogan has gotten. I liked his feud going back to 1998 in WCW. Hulk Hogan, he had a match. He teamed up with Dennis Rodman, who is the most famous, one of the famous basketball players. He teamed up with Dennis Rodman to go against the mailman, Karl Malone, who was also another basketball player who had a beef with Dennis Rodman, who teamed up with Diamond Dallas Page at that Bash at the Beach in 1998. They had a match. Then the following month, at Road Wild 1998, we had Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff teaming up to go against Diamond Dallas Page and Jay Leno, of all people. The Tonight Show host, Jay Leno, and them teamed up in WCW in 1998. What a crazy time. Those are some of my memorable things. Then we had a not-so-good match, Hulk Hogan and the Warrior at Halloween Havoc 1998. Hulk Hogan actually did a good job trying to put over Billy Kidman in not one, not two, but 3 matches in WCW in the year 2000. And then Hogan's last appearance, I believe, for WCW was that Bash in the Beach 2000. He had a huge blow-up with Vince Russo and the creative direction of how they were going to sculpt that match. Because Hogan was walking in as a champion at that time. Crazy stuff. It's been a crazy week. Ozzy Osbourne passes away. Hulk Hogan passes away. Crazy stuff. Anyway, where are we at now? 25 minutes into the show. Let me just run down some of the memorabilia here that I got. Get it out of the way here. All right, one of the most known things here that I showed off. This is the Hulk Hogan mail-in action figure from 1993. You had to mail in to get this, and this nowadays goes for anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 to get your hands on this action figure nowadays, and I got one. So we got that. That's the Hulk Hogan mail-in action figure. Some more Hasbros that I got. These are ones in the card. These ones I had picked up. If you've watched past Man on Talk Show episodes, I picked up. Shout out to Pandora's Box, Toys and Collectibles in Lafayette, New Jersey, is where I picked up these two Hulk Hogan Hasbro action figures. Up the screen's not. There we go. We'll showcase that one first. This is one of the Hulk Hogan action figures here. I forget what series this might be for. Reconnecting, you say, huh? Look at that. I just jumped right there. All right, let me just show that one more time here. Don't know what happened here. Showing off our Hulk Hogan memorabilia here. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan passed away today. My favorite wrestler of all time. It's crazy. Never thought I'd get to this day now. I thought I'd get a couple more years out of the Hulkster, but not. Here's another action figure here. We got another Hulk Hogan one sealed up in the case. Another Hasbro action figure. Part of the collection. So yes, I have picked these up at Pandora's Box, Toys and Collectibles there in Lafayette, New Jersey. Then I got the loose figures here. Whoa, almost knocking the show over. So this was the first Hulk Hogan Hasbro figure there from the lineup. This came out as part of their Series 1. So we got that Hogan figure. Then we got another one here. There's 5 total Hulk Hogan Hasbro figures. There's these 4 here that I'm showing you, plus the mail-in figure that I had already shown. I will show it again because I love it so much. What you gonna do, brother? Gives a leg drop, brother. All right, so we got this next Hulk Hogan Hasbro figure here. Just imagine if I played the Hulk Hogan theme, you know. I made a little video. I posted on my personal Facebook page earlier. So maybe some of them people, I'm going to put it on the Man on Talk Show Facebook page so people could see that then. But yeah, they wouldn't allow that here on YouTube. You know, YouTube will be shutting me down as always and trying to take away my money. You know, they already get all my money for these broadcasts anyway. And here's another Hulk Hogan action figure. It was sad to hear about the passings this week. Yeah. Ozzy, Hulk Hogan, 2 WWE Hall of Famers. Ozzy, I believe, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame during COVID times, I believe, as the celebrity inductee. So, and then Hulk Hogan, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005 and 2020, I believe, as part of his NWO faction from WCW. Let me just show this off one more time here. The Hulk Hogan mail-in action figure here. So there it is. I just showed off 5 of the only 5 WWF Hasbro action figures. And my Hulk Hogan collection is complete for the Hasbros. 2 other things here. You know, I talked about Hulk Hogan in this career business. So, you know, I got people commenting on my personal Facebook page here. Let me see that here. Let's see, we got a comment on one of my photos, a reaction to the Hulk Hogan little video I posted there. I'll share that on our Man on Talk Show Facebook page. Right here, this is the Hulk Hogan. Let me move this microphone. Hulk Hogan TNA DVD Immortal. Immortal now in TNA was the, well, let's just call it the Wish version of the NWO. Or Temu, whatever the hell they're calling it these days. Temu version of the NWO was called Immortal in TNA because they couldn't use the NWO name because WWE owns the copyrights to NWO. So Bischoff and Hogan, the original two members there of NWO, decided to create Immortal and try to do a copy of WCW Days in TNA in 2010. So this was a DVD. I gave up a lot of my DVDs, but this is one that I held on to, and I'm glad now that I held on to this thing even more because now there's more value to this DVD. So we got that DVD there. Here's another one. This is a throwback, a big-time throwback for people. You remember VHS tapes? I grew up with VHS tapes, and here it is. Pulled this out of my collection, easily accessible. VHS tape, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, main evented this pay-per-view, WrestleMania 3 from 1987. There it is, the VHS tape, the original VHS tape, not a recreation like WWE has done over the years. This is the original casing that it came in. You know, and it's got its little back. You know, they don't make stuff like this anymore. Here's the VHS tape. For those of you brand new to the show, never grew up with VHS tapes, here it is. This is what a VHS tape looks like for those of you who have no clue what a VHS tape is. And for those of you that do, well, you already know. So there it is. Just imagine, for the new people here, you used to put this in, rewind it, fast forward it. This, I've always held on for a long time. Look, there's even a sticker there. Hold on, let me let the camera focus here. Will it focus? Will it not focus? Whatever, man. Well, anyway, don't be unkind. Please rewind. That's what it says. Yeah, the playback monitor shows it blurry too. Whatever. All right. So there it is. That's a VHS tape there. Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania 3. A lot of people, I bet, would love to get their hands on that. All right, so we showed that. We showed the figures. One last little thing I want to show off here. I picked this up a couple years ago. It's a rarity. Does anybody know what this is? This is Hulk Hogan shampoo. That's right. Back. Ooh. All right, there we go. No glitch in there. All right, yeah, of course, the internet jerking as per usual, but we're back here. It said reconnecting. Anyway, Titan Sports, 1986, it says here. Titan Sports, for those of you wrestling fanatics, was the parent company to World Wrestling Federation back in the days. And, yeah, here it is. It's a Hulk Hogan shampoo from 1986. And I believe there actually is shampoo still in this thing. Look, the head comes off. This is what younger kids used to have here back in the day. So the head pops off. It actually still smells like shampoo. It kind of smells like ivory soap a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I don't want to know what it looks like, though, if there's any in there. Maybe we'll do another episode on it sometime. Maybe. If I get requests for it, we'll do it. But anyway, yeah, folks, that wraps it up here. Sad deaths this week. 3 notable ones. Malcolm Jamal Warner, The Cosby Show, 54. Ozzy Osbourne, age 76. And, of course, our main man, the show that we've been talking about here, Hulk Hogan, passed away, 71. Heart attack, cardiac arrest. What a sad thing. What a sad thing. I remember when I was a little kid and I used to play with these. I have a Warrior one, a Ted DiBiase one. You know, ones I never collected was the Warriors, Jake the Snake, and Big Boss Man were the only ones I never got to collect. But, you know, I had an aunt that would come up here from Texas. I remember on a couple occasions, you know, my parents there, they'd be talking in the kitchen. And here I am, I don't know, 6, 7-year-old Matt on, just wrestling with these wrestling buddies on the floor, giving elbow drops, leg drops. What you gonna do, brother, when I do a leg drop, brother? So, yeah, what a time. The Tonka wrestling buddies. These things hard to get their hands on. What year did this come out here? Gotta be crap over in a year. Is there a year on this thing? Could have swore I remember a year on this thing. I don't know. We're gonna say 1990s, 89. Gotta be. I mean, if they had the Road Warriors out then, Ted DiBiase, and now Ted DiBiase in the green suit, by the way. Big Boss Man, Jake the Snake. Macho Man was a heel. Macho Man's figure looked like a heel. So that was when he was doing Macho King. So yeah, it would have to be like 1990, 1991, because his print on his was Macho King. That was Macho Man's heel character. And then Macho Man had that retirement match against Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7 in 1991. So yeah, a little wrestling facts there for you. And that does it, folks. I am just still stunned by the death of Hulk Hogan here today for July 24th, 2025. We've been live here for nearly 40 minutes, so I thank everybody for the likes, all the people that have popped in and out of here for today's broadcast. I greatly appreciate that. And we will be back soon enough for a live, one of these days, even a Matt on Talk Show driving segment. We'll be back with one of those very soon. And yeah, I think we've had enough deaths, so if there's another crazy superstar that meant a lot to me, just like Hulk Hogan has, I will be back for a live. I wasn't originally going to plan to do any lives today, but this made me do a live, alright? That's how much Hulk Hogan meant to me. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. What a great time. 37 years of my life. The greatest wrestling character. I always loved to mimic him. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do when Matamania runs wild all over this live, brother? Alright, guys. That's it. I will see all of you soon. Matt on Talk Show, One Matt Nation, July 24th, 2025 here. And see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.